Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see who we got here. We've got Farm Fresh. Hello, Alicia, and Strange Reality, which is also Alicia. Dark Lord Minette. Hello, hello. Lisa Kalovi. Hello, and thank you. Hey there, Jake, Nunya, Texas. Hey, Don Ray B. Hello, Spartman. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, today was so much better than the past couple of days. Let me tell you, I'm over negative temperatures. Hey, Tom on the plant. Oops. I don't know. That cold weather just sucks the life out of you. Hey, Fizzy. Norman's doing good. He's in the back in the wood room. He's doing good. Tomorrow he goes back outside because we will be up in the 40s, almost 50 is what they're saying. So we shoveled out his pen because there was a lot of snow. It would have been up over his head. So we got that all covered out. Plus, we don't want him getting all wet and shivering again. So hopefully that's the last time because it's not going to be feasible to bring him in anymore soon. Hey, Craig Tim, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it was cold, Tom. It was really cold. It was ridiculous. I mean, we were at negative 30 something at one point, but I know that we had negative, what was it, 14 as a temperature, not as a wind chill. Oh, it just it just makes you exhausted because you're outside all the time taking care of the animals, which is fine, right? Because that's what you do. And I do it and I love to do it, but it's tiring. It's really tiring. That cold air just knocks you out with that wind. Plus it takes you, a half hour to get dressed to go out in it. Hey, Glenda Grayson Fire. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Tina Ladybug. Hey, Fizzy. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Robert Nelson. I'm glad it's finally warming up for you. I hope that the ice storm damage stopped at that tree you were talking about in that wire. Oh, Spartman, car shopping. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't envy you. Hey, Tony Kettle Kitchen. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Craig, Tim, that's what we are going to do tomorrow. We will be burning tomorrow because obviously for the rest of you who don't know that, it's safe to do so in South Dakota because now we have enough snow. So we have a few piles we've got to get rid of. And tomorrow's going to be the day because it's actually going to be not windy. I will say hi to Norman for you, Fizzy. Dark Lord Minette throws the snow at everyone. Yeah, exactly, Tom. It was a ridiculous number. It's just I'm over it. I'm over it. Oh, Dark Lord Minette, another foot of snow for you. Jeez. I would have taken that. Like, I don't mind the snow. And I know I've said it a million times. I don't mind the snow at all. I don't like when it's that far below zero. I get anxious. I worry about the pigs the most. The chickens and the turkeys I can lock in. You can't lock the pigs in because the pigs have got to get out and get water and stuff. And if you put the water in their house, they knock it over. And then you got wet, frozen bedding. It's just, I always worry about them more than me because I can go in. Zero by Spartman is supposed to be 24 tomorrow. Well, good. I hope you hit 24 because it feels like summer after that nonsense. You filled the garden today, Jake? That's awesome. That's awesome. I've got winter sowing jugs outside covered in snow, and then I've got seedlings I started over here. So we're back to the funky lights again. Oh, you always have to pee after getting dressed. Strange reality. And at that point, I just go out. I'm not even worrying about it. Hey, Nancy, our treasured home. Hope you're doing well. Glad you're healing up. Hi, Deborah Rusignolo. Hope you're doing well. Just needs a new motor. Oh, man. That's crazy. In the 70s yesterday and high 30s today. You want the 70s back. I don't blame you, Glenda. I don't blame you. Let's see here. Just want to go down. I did say hello to Tina Ladybug. Hope you're doing well. Hug those grandbabies for me. Yeah, it's delayed. Yeah, I'm behind a bit too, Fizzy. The worst I had was the freezing rain. Yep. Freezing rain is brutal. Hey, Holistic Heritage. Hope you're doing well. I think it's Holistic Heritage. Yep. Can't see the whole name on the chat here, so I guess a lot of the time, so I apologize. Yeah, I hope my winter jugs do good too. I've got onions in there. I've got spinach, Swiss chard, broccoli, cauliflower, all that kind of stuff. I mean, because we're like, what, 15 weeks away from our last frost in June. So, yep, I have a bulldog, Fizzy. I have a bulldog. And he's doing well. So yeah. So it's just been I don't know. We talked about it before. It's just a lot to take care of everybody, but it's a good thing. Hey, Joy Bless Life. Yes, warm inside, and the animals in Norman, they're doing good. Thank you very much for asking. Norman is inside. He is going back out tomorrow. We shoveled out his pen so we can get him back out there and he won't get wet. And it was also pretty deep out there for him, so we wanted to get that done. But the animals were thrilled today that it was, not snowing, the sun was out, and it was in the 20s. So I think we made it to like 24 today. So they were really thrilled because they were outside, whereas for the past 2 days they've been inside unless I come out to feed. So, and we feed more often when it comes to frigid temps like that to keep their internal energy up and stuff. Yep, Robert Nelson, I did. I checked out Sarah's channel. I followed it and I watched a lot of her stuff and asked her some questions. So thank you very much. But yeah, just we had all the winter prep in the video that you guys saw, and we did all that. I did all that on Monday, and then the storm came in. I think we had some snow Tuesday into Wednesday, but then Wednesday it started coming a lot heavier and dumped a lot, and then Wednesday and Thursday were brutal cold, and then today, like I said, we got up into about 24. No, I didn't, Joy. I didn't. I did one the last time. I did like a reel for Instagram and I did a short. I won't do a really long one because I don't know if it really fits with our channel purpose and stuff. But it's just, I just love watching it. For me, I just love watching it. And today it was watching all the snow blow off the trees and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Hey, Annette at the Cow Emporium. You're saying burr. You guys have got it really cold up there. Annette and Glenn at the Cow Emporium have started calving as of the 22nd of February. So calving season has begun for them. And if I remember correctly, that goes about 3 to 4 weeks. So send some positive energy their way because that's rough being out there calving. And I know their first calf came on a really cold day or night, and Glenn had to make a special I'm going to call it a took because that's what they talk about, they call it, and it was over the calves' ears because you got to protect the calves' ears when it's that cold because they can get frostbite. So I know I was out looking at Eleanor's ear tonight and I see some dried blood on her ear from when Eleanor bit her. I don't know if she bit her again, but we're keeping an eye on her to see how everybody's doing. Calving is 2 months. Okay, good. I'm glad you told me that. Calving is 2 months, you guys. Wow. Well, I hope that your cold goes away quick because that's not fun. Not at all. I've missed hauling water because all I've got is buckets now. I've got to bring them from the house down there. And because it's so cold, we're getting, even with the heater, I'm getting like a good inch of ice on the stock tank. And so I have to break it off. And then now the water level in the tank is a lot lower. And I have to go get buckets. It's such a pain. Oh, no worries, Andale. Rest, rest. I know you've had a long day of chicken coop planning and shopping and hardware shopping and all that. Just sit and relax. I hope you're feeling better finally. I know that you had a really nasty sickness going on for a while. I'm glad I didn't put my chickens back in the coop outside. They're still inside. Cool, cool. Yeah, mine were out in the coop the whole time. They did really well. What really helped was the automatic coop door that I won in a giveaway on Instagram was from Run Chicken Door. And what I really like about it is we have a full-size door on our chicken coop. So it's really nice to just have a small little door. It's been keeping the coop a lot warmer. So the chickens are doing really good. No worries, Gwen. I hope your grandson had a great birthday dinner. Bye, Fizzy. Have a good night. So yeah, one of the things we had over the 2-day span of this cold nonsense is I went in the coop yesterday morning and found a bunch of blood on the floor. So, trying to look chickens over during the day when they're running around and trying to catch them is near impossible, but I looked them over a few times. Hey, Rebecca, Touched by Yarn. So the second time I couldn't find anything the first time. And then I went in to the coop and I looked again at them and I saw more, blood spatter, if you will. Not like a lot, but it was visible. So I was like, what in the heck is going on? Well, anyway, I finally at night we went back in there and I'm assuming somebody pecked the heck out of her and pecked at some of her wing feathers and they were bleeding. So we sprayed her up with Blue Coat. She's doing really well. She's acting normal. And yes, Robert Nelson, I have done meat birds. We do meat birds every year. So we've done Royal Grey broilers. We've done Red Rangers, and Cornish cross. And I can tell you, we like the Cornish cross the most for taste, but I think they're the quickest bang for your buck. Yeah, I don't blame you for procrastinating, Gwen. I do the same if it's dark. Hey, Blue Self-Reliance. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And I think I missed somebody here. Let me see. Hey, Carrie at Owl Hollow Farm. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. So Xander was saying I shovel paths out for them, but that's tiring. Yeah. Yeah, when you've got all that snow, absolutely. Mine have a coop and then they have an indoor run and an outdoor run. And so when it's really cold and we got all that snow, I close the door to the outdoor coop because they're not going to go in it. They won't. It's too much snow. So what I do is I close that door and then they have the indoor run. There's no wind on them. But it was so windy, there was some snow in there because it just kept blowing. Hey, Jackie Sailor. Hey, Ricky Ventures. Yep, no problem, Gwen. No problem. So absolutely. I mean, so that's what I do. So I deal with the deep snow getting into the coop. And I usually shovel a path. Ryan actually plowed some paths for me, and then I followed up with shoveling just a little bit to get to the doors and stuff. Yeah, I've been looking at the American breasties myself. I've heard some really good stuff about them. I just want to hear what people have to say about their meat. Because if I raise them, I would want to raise them for meat. I wouldn't want them for egg. I would want them just to be more self-sustainable so I didn't have to buy meat chickens every year. Let me go back to the chat. Yes, Jackie Sailor, I am jealous. In a tank top. Girl, what are you doing to me? Yeah, Ricky Ventures got slammed with snow. Tons of snow. How much snow did you get, Ricky? Yeah, Joy Bless Life. I've been watching the same bald eagles as you. In fact, you posted on Facebook and I couldn't comment on it, but it was funny because earlier in the day I posted to my Instagram stories about Jackie and Shadow, the eagles in California. Boy, I tell you, that eagle, the two of them are committed. She was laying there on the nest and she looked like she was deceased. But she was snug right in there protecting those eggs. It's amazing. I hope they hatch. Let's see here. Redo the indoor part as well. That way they have more space in the side for during the winter. Yeah, that'll be really good for you, Xander. For your chickens, I mean. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what I do. You know, just make sure they have plenty of space to get around. So that way they can get where they need to get. 20 inches. Wow. Wow, that's a lot. We've hardly had any. We got the most this time. We think we got about 8 to 10. The news is saying we got 12. I don't think so. But it's hard to tell because one side of the property is a lot of trees and it doesn't get as deep on that side by the animals. But if you go in my driveway, it's a lot deeper where it's open. Watching hawks on your property or on like a live stream, Carrie? The Cornish giants for meat. Really? I've never heard of a Cornish giant. That's pretty cool. Everything here is called a Cornish cross. I have heard of people who say they like Jersey giants for meat birds as well as eggs. What did you do today, Jackie Sailor? Hey, Green Granny 2, Denise Pacell. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Joy Bless Life. They really are dedicated to their eggs. I just want to get to the bottom of the chat, folks. Northern Illinois did not get a lot of snow this year. Yeah, we didn't either. And it's been crazy because we only plowed one time before this, and that was when we got 3 or 4 inches. But we supposedly, spring is usually our heavy snow, but we haven't had much at all. Booked my first cruise and it's to Alaska. Congratulations, Jackie, in Canada. Congratulations. Good for you. Something to look forward to. Holistic Heritage says I might want to get some meat birds. We have dual purpose chickens for now. Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, we need to get about, I think we're going to get 10 or 12 more layers if I can get them. I don't want to hatch any. I want to get some, some breeds that I've been looking at. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be that picky. I'm going to take whatever is at the chick days, but I really want to take a look at, I'm hoping they have some Morans there. So we'll see. Interested in getting quail. Cool. I don't know. I think I'd get quail and rabbits if I really needed to. I don't know why. I'm just like, I'm glad you're jumping for joy, Jackie. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. Robert Nelson, I live on the river and I have to watch for ice jams. Oh, God. Yeah, you do. You see all those pictures you show me. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Dawn, what do you love about your quail? I'd like to know what people love about quail. So yeah, so that's what we've been doing. We're looking into barns, we're looking into different things. See what the spring brings. And it was funny because this year we really didn't set any goals for this year. And the reason why we didn't set specific goals was because we felt that we had really powered through the last 3 years and we wanted to just have a year where things were stable. So let's see here. I just want to go back. I may have talked Tanny into 2 chickens, a duck, and some quail. I don't know yet. I hope you did. I hope you did, Blue. Is that projects with Paul? The taste. Hey, I hope you're doing well, Paul. Oh, you're going with a bunch of YouTubers? Nice, nice. Carrie's getting quail. Okay, Dawn said that I can process them very, very easily. The meat is delicious. They live in a hutch and they mature very quickly. Good point. Good point. That's awesome. Yeah, I may look into them. Cornish giants give you almost 1 pound of meat for 2 pounds of feed. Hens give you a lot of breast meat, whereas the roosters grow structure first and then grow meat. Gotcha. That's awesome. So keep that in mind, guys. I've just never heard of a Cornish giant. I'm going to have to take a look at them. That's really cool. I love quail eggs boiled, but they're a little bit of a pain if I use solely quail eggs. Yeah, I was thinking of getting quail and selling the eggs to local places. It wouldn't be for me. Oh, cool. You got meat rabbits, holistic. That's awesome. Excited for hopefully lots of protein. Lean, but protein is protein. They seem to be easy to take care of for now. Gotcha. Ricky likes going quail hunting. We like pheasant hunting with a net in our flight pen. No, Ryan likes to hunt. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We do want to do more pheasant. We really like them. They were really easy to easy to raise, and they were light on feed. The only pain with the pheasants was when they were in the brooder. That was it. I can't tell you how many times someone contacted me and I'm like, I am chasing a chick that jumped out of the brooder while I was putting water in. Is quail white meat or dark meat? I think, and I'll let the folks in the chat answer, but I think it's both, just like other birds, or it's a game bird overall. But I think there's white and dark. I like to eat them. I've heard they lay more. Yeah. To me, the quail is darker meat, but not dark and greasy like chicken thighs. Gotcha. You probably can, Jackie Sailor, but it just depends on where you get it. You might have to go to a butcher. Hey, Ann, Little Frenchie in Big Texas. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, brooder escapees. Yep, we're staying warm. We're doing good. Today is a much better day than the past two. When you go from those negative temps and you get to like 20 something, it's almost like summer. It just feels amazing when you get to those warmer temps. Hey, Jesse, Rustic Sodak Farm. Hope you're doing well. Quail is all dark meat, Gwen said. So it's like game birds then. Depends if it's a wild one or a raised one. Yeah, that's one thing I will say. Our pheasants tasted amazing, and I'm sure it was because they were farm raised versus wild, like the ones that you would hunt. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what are you guys up to this weekend? I wonder if there are any butchers at the beaches of the Gulf of Mexico, Florida. LOL. You're too funny. So what are you guys doing this weekend? I want to hear about you guys. hear what everybody's up to. We're going to be burning. That's it. Headed to a celebration of life for my uncle. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Ricky. Sad. Not quite t-shirt weather, Gwen. Blue said, curling up on the couch under my blankie and pretending the world isn't here. That's a good one. I kind of did this today. Exhausted from work. I probably won't get much done. I'd like to do some cleaning up outside. Makes sense, Dawn. And Owl Hollow Farm, nursing Yogi back to health. Yes. So Carrie at Owl Hollow Farm has a dog named Yogi. So she is, excuse me, Yogi has been sick, so I hope Yogi is doing well. And Jesse says, hopefully sledding with the boys, maybe butchering. Did you say a cow? I got to go back up. Yep, maybe butchering a cow. Cool. You bleached a container so I can start some marigold seeds. Nice. Hey there, Shift Kicker. I hope you're doing all right. How are you feeling? Joy. Oh, Fallen Arkansas veteran says, howdy, Lisa and everyone, cooking supper but listening. No worries, Charlie. Thanks for listening in. Joy says, we have friends coming and booked the Dome Bubble in Pigeon Forge to eat in for our live stream tomorrow night. Nice. That's awesome. Broke Cowgirl, milk stand training still. This is the hard-headedest goat I've ever seen, but also prepping garden soil still. Needs tilled a few more times. Yep. That is a stubborn goat you got going on there. The Cow Emporium. Not sure yet. It depends on the cows. I saw a meme and I thought of you and I was going to send it to you, but I didn't want to bother you. But it was funny. It said something like, basically they were talking to the cows like they were employees, and it was at 2 a.m. and they weren't calving, and it was something about the employee handbook said that they all have to calve at 4 a.m. You had to see it for it to be funny. Nancy is crocheting and reading a book about sauces. Nice. Jackie's taking her son to his guitar lesson, daughter to work. Wow, that's a lot. Picking her up at 5 a.m. Woo. Sparkman's got car shopping, and Sunday is grandparent day. Shift Kicker, better, thank you. Still sore after the fall Monday. I hope you feel better. Good evening, Lynn. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. Just want to go through the chat real quick. You ordered a pedometer for yourself. Nice. That's awesome. I am so behind. Please book your time. Carrie at Owl Hollow Farm is getting 2 new swans on Tuesday. Yeah, I go to like Ravelry and find my crochet patterns. I just look up free patterns and I choose from there. It would have to be an amazing pattern for me to pay for it. To date, I've not paid for any. Norman and Diesel are doing good. They're just not doing well together. So I think I have to give up on the house pig thing, sadly, because it has digressed into aggression on Diesel's part. So I'm kind of bummed. Whenever he's in the house, we try to put them together and let them get used to each other. And it's not for long. Our plan was longer and longer. Diesel is now to the point where, good night, Robert Nelson. Diesel is just to the point where when Norman makes a noise, whether it's an oink or a grunt or a snort, Diesel looks confused. Good night, Jesse. Thanks for being here. Oh, thanks, Trent. Have a great weekend. Stay warm, my friends. Um, so we're still keeping him as a pet, and I'm still going to train him. I just, it's not fair to Diesel. It's not fair to Norman, because Norman's afraid of Diesel because Diesel keeps coming after him. So I don't feel it's fair to push something that's not working. You have to just realize that it's not working and let it go. So really bummed, but we'll definitely keep him in that front pen where he's closest to the house. We will try to integrate him with the other pigs when he's larger, so that way they're all together. Yeah, I know, fair enough, Blue, but it stinks. See this? It's just not fair to him. So I think the hardest challenge in then going through with the training is being able to potty train him. How do I potty train him when he's outside? So I have to figure that out, because in order for him to be a therapy pig, he has to be potty trained. It's different when you bring him in the house. But I will say this, every time we've brought him out, he's never had an accident. Never. It's so I feel like he's really got the brain potential for it. But it just stinks. I'm kind of disappointed. But hopefully when the weather gets warmer, because like now I can bring Diesel down there. Diesel ignores him outside. It's just that house because it's Diesel's house. So, and I think that, when we first had Diesel was exactly, you got to be better safe than sorry. And that's exactly what it comes down to. And Xander, you hit the nail on the head. Diesel is trying to bite his leg and he's trying to bite his ear. And it just, I can't put both animals in a stressful situation like that for me. That's just irresponsible. So we tried it. We gave it our best. So I totally get it. No worries, Gwen. I'm not going to be on more than an hour. So don't you worry about a thing. If you fall asleep, no worries. So yeah. So, I mean, what we're going to, tomorrow he goes back outside. I think when the summer comes, it'll be a lot easier to be able to take him out and take him walking and work with him. It's really hard when the snow is so deep now or when it's been so cold. So he's just not feeling it. But I shoveled a path down to his barn and I shoveled out his pen, so we should be able to do that. Exactly. He is. He is. Here's the thing. He's very protective over Ryan because Ryan's his person. So Yogi used to be that way with me. Yogi wouldn't have even put up with Norman in the house. I can tell you that right now. But it's common for bulldogs not to be an only animal, believe it or not, or sometimes another bulldog if they've been raised together. But Diesel, the one thing I will give Diesel credit for, and I have to give him credit for, is he still responds to commands when we call him and tell him to come over. Like when he does something bad and we go no, and we tell him to come over, he comes over and listens. Whereas usually bulldogs get in the zone and they don't listen. They just keep going. So good night, Ricky Ventures. So technically, I mean, if you think about it, if he wanted to bite Norman, he could have bitten him already and hurt him, but he didn't. But I'm also taking that as a warning. So it stinks. I'm kind of bummed. Have a great weekend, Ricky. And again, my sincerest condolences. So yeah, so he's not too thrilled about it. It is a good thing he does that. Absolutely. And we've rewarded him for it because he's listened right away. It's not like we've gotten into a situation where he's attacking Norman and we can't get them apart. It's never been like that. It's just that Diesel goes like right in his face and then Norman gets all afraid. And that's not fair to either one of them. It's a lot of stress. So, And I've even tried staying away because I'm part of the problem because I get nervous, and so Ryan's been handling it very well. I give hot cocoa so you can stay awake but not be so awake. Yes, the pink light is back. I've got all the plants that I planted outside, I planted inside just in case they don't work. I don't know if you saw my comment, Gwen. Gwen commented saying that my winter sewing jugs would be just like in nature. And I said, uh-oh, that's a problem. Excuse me. Excuse me. That was rude. Hey, Virginia fruit grower. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, it was like I was hoping that I could extend the season with them. We'll see how it goes. I've got onions, broccoli, cauliflower, Swiss chard, spinach, peas. I said onions, right? I think that's all I have outside. I have the same inside because I'm thinking if I plant them earlier and can keep them alive, maybe they will produce earlier. Hello, Cindy Squirrel. Welcome. I get it completely. I think my kids are Norman and Diesel. They live. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it be, and we'll just spend time and enjoy him. He'll still be my friend, my little friend, even though he'll get to be 225 pounds or so. Gonna start seeds next week. That's exciting, Nancy. What are you gonna plant? Anybody else start seeds? I know Gwen has. Gwen's probably got already harvesting. I'm just teasing her. I got new seeds this year. I got Tigerella tomatoes and Moscovich. And they say they're supposed to be really good in zone 4B. Our forecast is so plant now. It isn't even funny. Norman will probably follow you about in the yard so you can still have that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Generational homestead. I'm harvesting lettuce and chamomile. How exciting. Is chamomile easy to grow? Excuse me. I want to try some chamomile. I'm going to grow more calendula and marigold and zinnias this year. I haven't started them yet because, like I said, I think we're 13, 14 weeks away from last frost. Kale in my indoor garden. I got the squash in my 5-gallon challenge, and I'm going to start marigolds this weekend. Wow. Good for you. Your squash looks amazing. Growth on my windows. That's awesome. Welcome back, Fizzy. A cow heart tomato. No, I have not. I grew chamomile year before last for the first time. Cool. Was it easy to grow? I mean, sounds like it is. Nancy's going to try lettuce since it grows quickly and some herbs. Nice. I'm growing dill this year. I keep saying I need to get the seeds in, but I'm fighting the urge because of the cat who likes to eat all my seedlings. Yeah, exactly. Shift Kicker says, I'm dreaming of a white Easter. We have over 5 feet on the ground between last snowstorm and this one. Oh my gosh, Shift Kicker. There was a video, and I'm going to look because I can find it because I sent it to somebody. So hang on a minute. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. It was Wyoming. You would not believe this. Hold on. Okay, see if you can see this. That's an interstate in Wyoming. I'll tell you where in a minute. So that is I-80 in Wyoming. Isn't that crazy? Carrie just started spring garden. Chamomile is easy to grow, nice for tea. Beef heart tomato and bull heart tomato. Rosemary, that's awesome. Well, if you can't grow it, it's easy enough to buy a small seedling. Thanks, Tina Ladybug. I hope you're having a good evening. Yeah. Can you imagine? Isn't that insane? I don't have all that. I don't need it at all. That's your neighbor to the north? Wow. Isn't that crazy? Holy snowballs, Batman. Apparently it was the wind. They had a blizzard. I had to go to the pharmacy, and what ended up happening was one of the medications we needed, they said that all of Wyoming had been shut down, and that was Tuesday because they get it before us. Growing microgreens, so fresh greens, that's awesome. You know, Lynn, I bet you're ready for winter to be done. Rich at the Old Swede was just like, whew, deep, deep snow. I was talking to him yesterday. Oh, that polar freeze killed your 2 big rosemary bushes. I remember that. It's crazy. Yeah, we usually get like a February, polar vortex. But this is the 3rd time we've been dealing with those sub-zero temps, and quite frankly, I'm over them. I'm moving to Texas. Watch out, Gwen. I always tell Halbert Farm I'm moving to Texas. Yeah, I know, Nancy. I know. And Nancy, you had crazy weather too. You were one of the states that had the 70 degrees and then it's supposed to be really cold the next day, right? What's been going on in Tennessee, Joy? Has it been cold or what? Gwen, we get tough when we live in the cold weather. You know that? Jessie at Rustic Sodak, she had posted on Instagram, and I messaged her and called her Nanook of the North, and she said that she goes, I look at you and I get cold. Still waiting for our April flutters, no sign yet. Yeah, I mean, you get used to it. It's like, I usually wear a vest and a hoodie to go outside, and my boots, and I'll wear gloves, maybe a hat. That's actually a lot for me usually. Through that polar vortex. Yeah. One of the days I got so tired of putting on all the clothing 3-4 times a day to go feed. I didn't even put my coveralls on. I said, I'll move a little quicker. 70 and supposed to be 30s tomorrow. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And what is it in Texas? Like 85? Or did you cool down to maybe like 75? I'm curious. I'm being a Weisenheimer because we won't see that kind of weather for a while. However, the almanac was correct. Both almanacs were pretty correct on this. I have to go check out what March says. I just wonder how our grandparents made it with those outhouses up here. No kidding. No kidding. I wish it was 40 today in Texas. There's Josh. There's Josh from Halbert Farm. Did you hear that I said I'm moving to Texas? Too humid in Texas, yeah. I don't want to deal with tornadoes. I don't. And then Ryan said Florida, and I said, no alligators, no hurricanes, no tornadoes. 82 by Barb's Country Home. Nice. Hello, Barb. Hope you're doing well. 82 yesterday. Had a cool front blow in last night. Much cooler hoodie weather. Wow. I was watching you in your t-shirt, Gwen, and I was like, man. Oh, wait a minute. I saw Josh said something. Oh, I would love to. I just don't know that I can move again. I don't know that I have it in me now that we have all these animals. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. It'd be crazy. But I did tell Ryan that I'm like, if we move again, we're moving to Texas within driving distance of Halbert Farm. And I don't mean that stalkery, okay, you guys, just so you know. Dill is great, nice with yogurt sauce. Yeah, and that's the thing I'm finding is that I needed a lot of dill last year for some stuff I was doing. And I had grown some and it didn't do well, and I didn't even replant it. And I was like bummed that I didn't grow it. Let's see. They had some hooch in the outhouses to have sip well out there. That's funny. You know it's cold when the snow crunches under your feet. No kidding. No kidding. It's the noisier the snow gets, the colder it is, in my book. Yeah. Yep. Joy. We used to live in Spruce Pine, and then we lived in Leicester in North Carolina. So we were right outside of Asheville. We used to go to Johnson City, and we used to go to Gatlinburg, and Pigeon Forge, and Sevierville all the time. But no, the weather was nice, except for the ice storms. That was it. But other than that, it was awesome weather. Barb wants me to move to Texas too. Annette wants me to go north. Annette, I love you and I'll come visit, but I'm not moving farther north. Mm-mm. And that goes for North Dakota too. No way. I'm looking at their weather. Ooh. The deeper the snow gets here, the warmer we get. It acts like an insulator. Yep. Absolutely. Never seen a tornado. We get lots of warnings for hurricanes, and you just don't swim at dusk or dawn. Good to know. Good to know, Carrie. I'm sure they are smart, man. They probably are looking at us and saying that we're wimps. And I'll gladly accept that I'm a wimp. AC was on night before last. I don't even have AC. We have a portable unit that we brought with us from North Carolina, but it's very rare that we use it. It has to be over 100. I need more homesteading friend neighbors. There you go. That's a good place too, Dawn. That's a good place. I'm kind of torn because I don't like the really hot weather. And I actually think sometimes it's easier to take care of the animals in the cooler weather versus the hotter. Except for the extremes, obviously. But like when like Halbert Farm has got pigs, and pigs don't, they need all that stuff to be to stay cool because they don't sweat, and I think about all that and I'm like, oh, if Lisa moves to Texas, she has to be my neighbor. You all gonna fight over me now? That's fun. Hey, Annie's Kitchen. Yeah, I can't do heat and humidity either. I do really well out here because there's no humidity. But I will say this, the one thing you notice out here, like, when you're down in Texas or North Carolina, or even when we were in Connecticut in the summers, you would sweat, right? There's no sweating out here. You are dry. In fact, at the end of the day, you're realizing that you're dehydrated because you haven't had enough to drink because it just sucks it right out of you. Yeah, Lynn, I would totally take 40 degrees. I think we're actually going to reach the mid 40s tomorrow. And that's one of the reasons why we're burning, because there's enough snow on the ground. It's going to be still, no wind. And so it'll be safe to do so because we need to burned down in the back part of the property. One of them is in the pig pasture. We had raked the pig pasture. Good night, Strange Reality, Farm Fresh. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. So we raked one of the pastures, and we have a pile there, and we just had to wait until we could burn it. So we have that, and then we have a huge brush pile. When are the pigs getting bred? I have been watching for signs of heat, and if I remember correctly, because I stupidly didn't write it down, it was the end of January when they were in heat. So I've been checking them every day, and of course, with the negative temperatures, I looked at them one of the days, and then I looked at them today. I'm not seeing any signs of it, but our goal is the next time they're in heat, we want to breed them. I have a burn pile that is underneath about a foot of snow right now. No kidding. Don't move to Perth, Australia if you don't like heat. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So yeah, so we'll be breeding them then. I want to go back. Josh had a comment that I missed. Just like to think about it as a huge pool party for the pigs every day in the summer. No kidding. That would be so much fun. I tried to do that with Fiona, and she took off on me. Rotten stinker. I meant end of January, Gwen, meaning they were in heat end of January, but I didn't breed them because I have to watch the weather. So my guideline was the end of January was when they are in heat. So about end of February, they should be in heat because it's a short month. We're trying to do it earlier this year because last year, obviously, we did it later, and it worked out great because it was my first time, and I felt confident with the piglets. It was warm enough out, and we didn't have all that added to it. So it worked out really great last year. So I feel better about doing it earlier this year and seeing how it goes. But I don't want to do it too early where we get our last like snowstorms and stuff. So I'm just trying to be careful about that. Especially now that Norman will be in one of the farrowing barns. So we'll have to figure things out from there. But that's all right because I could always move him to the other pasture down in the back. There was one other thing I wanted to say. Good night, Owl Hollow Farm. Give Yogi kisses for me, Carrie. There was one thing I was going to say. I forgot what it was. Oh, well. Gone. Highly recommend growing herbs. Yep, absolutely. Norman's not getting a beautiful lady, Charles. I've already put a huge wrench in the pork production plan here, keeping him. So we will see. Yeah, I agree, Gwen. I agree. I know they do. I was like, I just don't want to. I can't have another Norman situation. So if he wasn't alone, he'd be outside and he'd be fine. But being alone, he doesn't have the heat from any other buddies. So your memory's going too, Barb. It's just tiring after being outside. I was trying to think of what the heck it was. I was going to say, darn it. Anywho, we will figure it out. We'll get it all done. We'll have the pigs bred. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. That's it. I got it now. So I talked to our breeder where we got Fiona, and I don't know if I told you guys this or not. I talked to our breeder where we got Fiona and Eleanor. Now, Eleanor is registered. Fiona is not. And I talked to her, and she saw pictures of Fiona and reached out to me and said, Fiona was too small to register at the beginning. And so she didn't feel comfortable registering her because of breed standards and all. she's going to register her for me. So that would give 2 sows that are registered. But after these litters, we'll have to evaluate what we're doing because we may switch to an all registered herd. That'll be hard, but we'll still have Norman. Isn't that cool? So yeah, so she's going to collect the DNA samples, and then I have to collect hair samples. I'm assuming it's hair follicle samples off of Fiona and send them to her. But she reached out to me, which I thought was pretty impressive. She texted me and said, I'm looking at your video and I'm looking at Fiona, and she says she really grew up beautifully. So let's register her if you want. And I said, absolutely. So it'll be a good learning experience. So, because I think that's where we're at, because then we can, good night, Don Ray B. Have a great weekend. So that way we can become registered breeders. So, I posted a while back, it'll be really hard to do that because that means I would have to give up some. But we also know that's how things go, especially when, they can't give birth forever too, so you don't want to do that to them. But I would make sure they went to really good homes, like maybe Halbert Farm. No, I'm just teasing. They got enough pigs. But so that's what's going on with us. Yeah, I'm excited about it. So we're going to work on doing that. She's digging out from the snow because she's on the other side of the state. And so she was just waiting for her kids to go back to school because they'd been home for a while with this whole storm because they were in the blizzard zone. So pretty excited about it. I would love to get a Kuni pig that it has the belted, I don't know the coat name for it, so please forgive me. But they're like a belted coat where, say, they're like a darker cream, and then they have a lighter cream belt, like the belted Galloways, the cows. Oh, I love it. They're beautiful. But here's the thing. You learn, right? You learn from what you do. And I know so much more now from before when I got the first pigs. I've learned so much about looking at, conformation and looking at that kind of thing. So it would be really cool. Hello, Leanne, Mennonite Farmhouse. Welcome in. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, so even if, we went to sell her, it would be good to know that we've got her registered and stuff like that. And we'll see how it goes. So then that would leave Grant and Sherman. So we'll see how that goes. It's really funny, though. Sherman is looking forward to breeding season. Grant doesn't seem interested. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just looking at the comments. Leanne, tackle hug. That's good. I love when you guys are always talking to each other. That's awesome. So we're excited for that. So just hoping that this Subzero weather is over with. Anybody, I know Xander was talking about the snow and Lynn, and Ricky was talking about it. Anybody else get a lot of snow, or a lot of you were in the 70s and 80s though, right? And then you got cooler, I heard. So that's cool. I'm here in parts of Pennsylvania, still has hardly had any winter too, which is a good thing. Good and bad. It depends for the drought part, right? I'm just glad we got some moisture, so that'll be good. Anything else going on with you guys? What's going on with you, Barb? Barb's Country Home. What are you doing this weekend? We haven't had more than 4 inches of snow all winter. Wow, Leanne. Leanne, you get more than that though, right? Usually, right? We got ice. Oh, Denise, I hope you're doing well and you're safe. You're in that zone that gets that ice. Oh. So these new kittens that got dropped off here, I think my raised garden beds are kitty litter boxes. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. Oh, Barb. Oh, I hope you and John are feeling better, Barb. Feel better. Tanny is taking the week off, so it's his last work day today, which is awesome. Have a wonderful week off together. Gwen, they said on the news we got like 12. It's hard to tell because on the barn side of the property with all the trees, it looks like we got about 8, but in the driveway it looks more like 10, so 8 to 10, depending on where you are on our property. But we were really thrilled to get that, absolutely. And that's fine because we just plow it, you know. Usually the snow becomes a problem only when, excuse me, only when you're to the point where you're plowing it and you have nowhere to put it because it's not going away. That's when it becomes a real pain. Other than that, like, we can deal with it. We can totally deal with that. Yeah, Barb, you guys have had it rough. Oh, please take care of yourselves. We used to get a lot more than that. It's odd. Yeah, it's been a weird year. I mean, look at South Dakota. They've had like 2 or 3 blizzards. Not whether they technically called them blizzards, but I mean, they've closed the highway, the interstate. It's just crazy. Oh, you have Kuni pigs holistic? Cool. I have to check and see when we brought our breeding pill. Have you put them together holistic? Like, are they together all the time, or have you put them together to try and breed them? The AKKPS is one of the associations for the Kuni pigs, and they put out a beautiful article, and I shared it on Facebook today, on signs of heat in Kuni pigs. It's a really good, quick and dirty article. One is registered, one is not. Get the other one registered if you're going to breed and sell piglets. Get the other one registered if you can do it. Absolutely. There's a big difference between registered and non-registered. Absolutely. I just, at the time that I got into them, I didn't know that I would love them so much. And I said, I don't need registered. Famous last words. But yeah, talk to the breeder and see if you can get them registered. You just need the DNA to send them in. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it, Blue. I thought it was awesome. Last year, even though I read all about it, one of the things I did last year, and I used to laugh with Monica at Bland's Promised Land Ranch, I kept taking pictures of their breeding area. And because in a gilt, before they have their first litter, it's really hard to tell when they're in heat. Once they are sows and they've had a litter, it's a lot easier to tell. So last year it was a little challenging for us to tell. So I kept taking pictures. And it really helped out a lot because you do see a big difference. But that was a really good article. It's a really quick one. Well, guys, we're a little over an hour. I think I'm going to get going because I've got to get up early to burn. I just didn't want to skip it tonight. And that cold weather just knocked me on my butt all week. It's tiring. So I hope you guys have the very best weekend. As always, I always thank you guys for all your support and for being here. Good night, Dark Lord Minette. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And stay warm, stay dry, get out of the snow, feel better. Thank you, Barb, my friend. I will. Yep, good, Gwen. That's what I do. Absolutely. I did too. In fact, Josh and Rebecca at Halbert Farm had me take pictures for body condition. And It was great. It was great. Ghetto Kitchen has a giveaway at 11 for his monetization. Nice. Go check that out. Have a good one, Spartman. Good to see you, Charles. Have a great weekend. Happy pie making, Leanne. Get out in the sun and garden. May the swords be with you. You guys are the best. Thanks for always being here on Friday nights. And I love you guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye. Bye, Annette.